Hi, and welcome to Animal Zone. I'm Arthur von Wiesenberger, and this handsome fellow is Mikey, my adopted pit bull. Animal Zone is the A to Z on everything about adoptable pets. Whether you're looking for a bird, a cat, a dog, or even a tortoise, we've got experts who can share their knowledge and insights. So cuddle up with your favorite critter and join us as we explore the Animal Zone. Hallmark Channel's pet rescue expert Larissa Wohl invites us into her home as she shares some insights with her rescued pets. Then we'll learn about Care for Paws and their mobile pet clinic. Laura Stinchfield, the pet psychic, wings it as she talks with some beautiful birds at the Santa Barbara Bird Sanctuary. We'll also meet a very happy pup who found his forever home thanks to the Santa Barbara Humane Society. So join us as we soar into the Animal Zone.
Bonjour Alex.
Bonjour Renaud.
Happiness? It's great food prepared the French way.
Chocolate eclair.
What makes you happy?
A touch of Paris.
Without the trip to France. Handcrafted daily in our bakeries especially for you. Indulge yourself.
Bon appétit.
Please visit Renaud's in Gelston, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge.
The Santa Barbara Humane Society is an independent, local, community-based nonprofit with adoptable animals ready to find a forever home today.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we provide low-cost spay and neuter services and vaccinations. It's important for your dogs and cats to get vaccinated to prevent illnesses. And spay and neuter surgeries help prevent unwanted pregnancies and can benefit the health of your pet.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we want you to adopt, not shop.
Today on Animal Zone, we're in Los Angeles and we're going to visit with Larissa Wohl, Hallmark Channel's home and family pet rescue expert. We're going to go to her own home and see what kind of pets she's rescued. So let's go and check it out. Gosh, Larissa, it's so great to be at your beautiful home.
Thank you.
Now, we get to watch you every day on Home and Family, on Hallmark Channel's Home and Family, and you have the most wonderful adoptable dogs that come on. Do you ever get tempted to bring one of them home?
All the time. All the time. I love them. It still surprises me, and I know how many great animals there are out there looking for homes, but we get everything that you would want. We get labs, pit bulls, poodles, Maltese, purebreds, cockers, beautiful mixed breeds. I mean, you dream it, we've got it, or we can get it. And it just goes to show that no matter where you live and no matter what animal you want, you can rescue one. Now, it might take a little bit longer than walking into, let's say, a pet store or something, then there they are right there. But it's such a worthwhile wait to find the right one for you. And there are many days that I'm being, the animal's being taken back out of my arms and I'm like, okay, bye, because I want to take them home. But again, I have to be responsible and not bring them all home.
And rescue dogs are winners, aren't they? I mean, I remember watching the wonderful American Rescue Dog Show. It was so much fun to watch, and all these dogs were so talented in different arenas, from snoring to wagging their tails. I mean, that just drives home the point that you don't have to go out and buy a dog or go to a breeder. You can find them at shelters. You can find them, they even have breed-specific shelters.
Yes, there's so many people nowadays that realize, okay, people want certain breeds. So there are wonderful Cocker Spaniel rescues. There's a Cavalier King Charles rescue who I fostered for many times. I mean, those dogs are designer dogs that everybody wants their hands on. You can get get it, because unfortunately a lot of people jump in, they buy one, and then 6 months later they realize what really goes into having a dog, whether it's starting to maybe have a little separation anxiety like this little girl did, or it needs a little extra vet care than they realized was going to be necessary, and they go, take it, and they give it up to a rescue. That's your chance to take that dog and rescue it and give it a wonderful home without more breeding having to happen to get that dog.
That's so great. Well, Larissa, you are the pet rescue goddess.
Oh,
Thank you for having us and introducing us to your little babies. They're so great.
Of course. And I do want to make mention for anybody out there, these slip leashes, by the way, this is what my wonderful trainer taught me, are amazing. So that's why I put it on Maple, because when she starts getting barky, it doesn't hurt her by any means, but it just gets her attention enough. And if you're supposed to put it right under their ears, so not around their throat, but right under their ears. And it just kind of gets them to question what's going on. And that's to help kind of keep them in check when you need them to behave.
Wait a second. I think some girl I know wants to put one around my neck. All right.
That's a different segment.
Okay. Well, we hope to have you back on an AnimalZone very soon.
Thank you. Oh, I hope so.
Thanks, Larissa.
Thanks for coming and seeing my babies.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these words. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
Subscribe today. Call 1-800-654-3292.
Okay, today we're here at the Camino Real Marketplace with Isabelle Gullo, who is the co-founder of C.A.R.E for Paws, and then you can hear right behind us the C.A.R.E for Paws mobile clinic. So great to see you again.
Yeah, you
Isabelle.
too, Arthur.
And we all try and stay positive.
Yes.
As you would say, because you bring so much joy into people's lives with their animals. And in fact, I have to confess that thanks to Isabelle, I have the happiest dog in my life. His name is Mikey, who you were fostering.
Right. I love Mikey. It's one of my favorite dogs in the whole world. My godson.
Your godson. So we're related.
Yes, we are.
Fair to say. Now, C.A.R.E for Paws does so much for dogs in this community and for cats. Tell us a little bit about the mobile clinic, which is right here today.
Yeah, so today we're hosting a low-cost vaccine clinic where we can provide a variety of services, not just shots, but flea treatment, nail trimming, dewormer, microchips, and then inside of the van we're doing space and neuters. And we can also provide a variety of medical services like dentals, mass removals, and everything that we're doing is geared towards low-income, senior, disabled, and homeless pet owners. So we can go directly to the pet owners in the community that need us the most.
And you move around the community with your mobile van, don't you?
We do. We go all the way from Carpinteria up to Guadalupe, so we cover all of Santa Barbara County.
How many animals do you think you've serviced over the last year?
In 2018, we helped about 6,000 families with their dogs and cats. And overall, just to give a number about spaying and neutering, we've helped almost 10,000 dogs and cats with free space and neuters since we started in 2009.
Wow, that's amazing. How did you get started in animal welfare?
Well, I've always had a big passion for rescue and adoptions. So when I co-founded C.A.R.E for Paws, or prior to that, I was a shelter volunteer at the Santa Barbara County Animal Services Shelter. And we were caring for a lot of dogs every day. As a matter of fact, the shelter is probably made for about 40, 50 dogs, and we were caring for about 120.
Wow.
So it was not a good situation for the animals, for the staff, for the volunteers. And so myself and many shelter volunteers looked at the different reasons why animals become homeless in the first place, and then we decided we wanted to address the problem in the community because we could spend all the time we have in the shelters and we still not solve the problem. So
why do animals become homeless?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. Financial situations sometimes contribute, behavioral issues, and pet overpopulation when there are just too many dogs and cats and not enough homes. So for us, that was the biggest issue to tackle. So we made our spays and neuters free so that we could help those in the community that really needed it to be free. And that way we reduced the number of kittens and puppies born every year by a lot.
Now, I notice when I go to countries like Mexico, there's a lot of homeless animals on the streets. Do we have that problem here?
We don't have that same problem. There occasionally you'll see a stray dog or a stray cat. Well, cats is a little different because you have community cats that don't necessarily have a home, but some people may be feeding them. So, but in terms of dogs, we don't have the same problem that they do in Mexico with a lot of pets roaming around without owners. But what's great about a lot of destinations in Latin America and all over the world, really, where there are groups that come in and try to spay neuter, try to provide vaccinations and adopt out pets that need homes. So it's there. I feel like worldwide we're doing so much good.
Now, Isabelle, you've got a big heart and you've adopted a lot of dogs over the years. How do you part with them if you've been fostering one like Mikey and then you end up turning him over to me? Lucky me.
It's been tough. I always cry when I leave, but I always do the home check. As you know, I'll come, I'll deliver the dog and make sure that it's the right setup, and then I like to stay involved. So like with you, I've seen Mikey over the years, and that means everything, so I make myself the godparent. And
it's amazing because Mikey, when Isabelle comes to the house, Mikey goes ballistic. He knows you like he was born from you practically. And you had him as a little tiny puppy when he was going through all those horrible injuries, repair work.
Right. And he was going to be euthanized at the shelter, not because the shelter wanted to at all. He had the injuries, there wasn't enough funding to pay for his surgery, and there were just too many dogs in the shelter at the time. So now if you look at the shelter makeup in our local shelters, the numbers are way down, and I attribute that to spaying and neutering and intervention programs that allow pets to stay with their families for life. It's really important.
In the shelters these days, what are the most common dogs you see?
It's changed. It used to be more of the pit bull type dogs and the chihuahuas, and now you see a lot more fluffy dogs. You see shepherds and huskies. As a matter of fact, so today is the WESTSIDE German Shepherd adoption event, and shepherds seem to be coming back as a fad breed again. So it seems to go in cycles.
So the problem, in a way, with animal welfare is when a dog becomes popular, that also means there's a lot of extra ones around, huh?
Right, yeah, you're right. I don't know if you remember the Dalmatian craze, and the Chihuahuas came about from the whole Yo Quiero Taco Bell commercials, and so so it is a problem. It can be, for sure.
Right. If you were going to give people advice about adopting a dog, what would you say is the most important things they should consider?
Families really need to look at their lifestyle and also where they live. Can they have a large dog? Can they give the dog or cat enough attention, exercise? Can they pay for vet bills? There are so many components that goes into being a responsible pet owner or a caring pet owner.
Right.
Again, making sure you financially can provide for the pet. But more than anything, exercise, affection, training, and that goes for dogs and cats.
If you were going to guesstimate what it costs to have a dog versus what it costs to have a cat per year, would you have an idea?
Taking your pet to the vet, whether it's a cat or a dog, you're looking at an exam fee of $60 plus shots, and if there's a medical emergency, that amount can skyrocket pretty quickly. So, and that's one reason why we exist, why Care for Paws is here, offering affordable vet care and even free vet services to those who can't afford it, because really finances shouldn't really be standing in the way of someone being able to keep their pets. So we're trying to create that safety net so that pets can stay with their families.
How can people get hold of Care for Paws?
So they can look us up on the web at careforpaws.org, or they can find us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Fantastic,
Isabelle. Thanks so much for being here today and all that you do for our fine four-legged friends. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got more Animal Zone. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Care for Paws was started in 2009 with the goal to reduce pet overpopulation and keep animals out of shelters, and also to ensure that pets can stay with their owners for life. We, from the get-go, established a free spay and neuter program that would help low-income pet owners fix their pets. So we provide shots, microchips, dewormer, flea treatment. We also have a veterinary intervention program. It's a way for us to help improve the quality of life for the animal as well for the owner, because when an animal suffers in the family, so does the rest of the family.
Imagine, if you will, a zone where animals can talk to humans. Submitted for your amazement, the pet psychic, as we enter the Animal Zone. And we're back here on Animal Zone with Jamie McLeod and Laura Stinchfield, the pet psychic, and a handful of beautiful birds, including Buda.
Buda! So Buda, I can trace his history about 60 years.
Wow.
And at that time, there was no captive breeding of this species in the wild, I mean in captivity. So I'm quite sure he was trapped in the wild. So I'd
do you want to ask him about that?
Yeah, I'd be very interested in what he has to tell you. He's seen a lot.
Buda, honey, did you hear what we want to ask you? Do you remember back, like, were you ever in the wild? Were you ever not around people? Can you remember? Of course you remember. He said he lived in a place where there were mountains, lots of trees and rivers. He said that they went to this place that was like a big watering hole that they would always go to, and a net came down on all of them. He said sometimes when animals get trapped, they die.
Yeah, a lot of them, more of them than not.
Yeah, you saw some of your friends die. You have a big heart. I can tell that you have a big heart. And he says he knows the difference between a mean person and a good person.
He does, and what's very interesting, he's attracted to anybody that he might think looks Middle Eastern.
Oh.
So that reflects back to living with the Shah's sister.
Yeah.
Can you ask him about what it was like living with Princess Sham?
Yeah, what was it like living with the princess? What did you think of that? She liked really nice music. She played nice music for us all the time. And what else? He said that he got a fruit there that he hasn't had here, and it looks like it's yellow with little nuts or seeds in it. Is it like a kumquat or something, or like a...
Well, you know, that's interesting because in the wild, this beak, and oftentimes people think it's malformed, it's specifically adapted to cracking a nut that is called a pandanus palm nut that doesn't grow anywhere other than the tropics. And I went to great extent to actually import one for him, and this one nut, which kind of looked like a cherimoya, cost me $45.
Oh my gosh.
And he picked it up and threw it on the ground. So I didn't import any more pandanus palm nuts for him. But that beak is extremely powerful, and he does love his citrus, and pomegranate is one of his absolute favorite. But that's only outside. Otherwise, it looks like a bloody massacre. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that at my house too, those pomegranates.
Yeah, you love Rosie, don't you? She's your girlfriend.
He says that you're his best friend now, though.
I know. And unrequited love is really a bummer. I'm sorry Rosie doesn't feel the same way about you. But we house her right next door to him so that he has her constant attention or interaction when he wants it. You can hold him if you'd like. Feel how strong his feet are. I once was watching a program called Birds in the Land of Oz, and there was a scene with a bunch of wild palm cockatoos, and I have never heard him scream like that. It was like he saw his long-lost family, and it was kind of sad, actually.
Oh. And you said that these are very rare birds.
Yes, there's a few different subspecies. This one is indigenous to New Guinea. He's an Ataramus palm cockatoo. There's another bigger one called the Goliath palm cockatoo, which is from Australia's York Peninsula. Fortunately, importation to the United States has closed down. However, not so much to other countries, and there's also a huge black market of trapping that happens, and it's kind of tragic because they really truly belong in the wild. But what do? They're here.
And you're looking after them.
Yes.
God bless you for doing that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
He said that at one time he slept kind of like in like a nest. And he said that he misses those twigs and those sticks.
Well, that's very fascinating that you bring that up. One of the natural behaviors that the species does is that they'll take twigs and put it in a nest, and they also court a female by banging it.
Oh.
And let's see if he'll do it. Sometimes if I put him on the table, you want to sit on the table? See how he likes to feel secure?
So then he must have been at least mating age.
Yeah, we have no idea how old he is.
It sounds like it.
He says, I got a beat. Go, Buda! Go, Buda! What do you think? Go, Buda!
Yay, Buda!
Yay. See, that's part of their courtship display where they flare their wings and...
Oh.
But he does make a nest with twigs.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Aww. Yeah, I think he was definitely had a few seasons of that.
Well, this is amazing, and thank you so much, Jamie, for allowing us to come and meet
Oh, you're
Buda and her
welcome.
friends.
And I'm glad to hear what Laura has to say about what's going on in that complex brain of yours. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we got more Animal Zone right here. Stay tuned.
My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today.
The Santa Barbara County Animal Care Foundation is dedicated to saving animals' lives, but we need your help to continue this critical work. SBCACF provides year-round medical and surgical care so that abandoned, homeless, or abused animals receive the best second chance at finding a loving home.
No animal is turned away from surgical care.
To learn more and assist us in keeping that pledge, visit sbcanimalcare.org and make a donation today.
If they can be saved,
we want to save them.
Oh, I'm in love with Moxi. Hi, welcome to our adoption corner here. And we've got Moxi, who I'm in love with, a beautiful pit bull, and Moxi's wonderful mom, Heidi and John. And we're so glad you guys came today. Thank you.
Thanks for having us. This is exciting.
I can see already why you adopted Moxi. I mean, I'm already in love since you brought her in. But what were when you started searching for a dog, what were the parameters you were thinking about when you were looking for a dog?
Not a pit bull. We wanted a dog that we could take to the park and take for a walk, and that had enough energy to do that, and a short-haired dog, so kind of a little easier to get clean. And I don't know, somebody that would let us give her a lot of love.
Have you already in the past adopted dogs from shelters?
We had another dog. It was Heidi's dog originally. She was a rescue from Hurricane Katrina, actually. Yeah. And she passed away, and she was a small, timid dog. Yep. And so we had no intention of getting a big, high-energy dog. We thought maybe we'd compromise. But outside of that, I guess we didn't have a lot of criteria. We wanted something that maybe had a little more energy, so we could take more walks. Taking a walk with the little dog, the timid dog, was kind of a challenge because she was afraid of everything. And so, but then we met Moxi, and so.
And did you foster Moxi for a while, or did you just go?
No,
we
we spent a few minutes with her at the Humane Society, and she warmed up to me right away, and that was a big thing. She's really very she's
Loving.
a loving dog.
Yeah.
She looks really strong and intimidating, but she's very wonderful to people, and she took to me right away, and that was a big deal for Heidi, and it was fine with me.
Yep.
And so we took her home, and then there were some things got a little bit more interesting after that. But
how so?
She destroyed a few things. When we first got her home, she would eat the slippers and hide them in the backyard, and she jumped on the bed, and she ate my mouth guard, which I had to replace. But that was kind of a short-lived phase for her. Once she settled in and kind of got comfortable, she stopped misbehaving like that. And
it was kind of anticlimactic because we thought we were in for a long battle, but I don't know what was going through her head. Maybe she was just unused to the house. But in a couple of days, she calmed right down. And
Yeah.
she hardly did anything like that, and she hasn't done anything like that since.
No.
She stopped hiding the shoes. I thought that was going to be a long argument, but I mean, we leave them out now. We put them away for a few days, and then the problem went away. She stopped doing it. So it was some kind of dog nervousness. But she has a lot of personality, and that was a surprise.
yeah, that was a delightful surprise.
I swear she has a sense of humor,
Yes,
and
she does.
she's learned the rules, but that doesn't stop her from occasionally doing something surprising.
That's fantastic. Well, you guys are heroes for adopting Moxi, and we appreciate you coming on today on AnimalZone to share your adoption success story.
Well, thank you very much, Arthur.
Thank you, Heidi, and thank you, John. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these words.
Sometimes scary things happen, like fires and floods. And suddenly a family has lost everything. That's why the Unity Shop has a disaster assistance program. We help families with immediate needs like food, clothing, and household items. And we continue to help them long-term until they're back on their feet and in their homes. But it takes a whole community to make this possible. Please, donate today so we can help everyone who needs us. Find out how you can help at unityshop.org.
Hi, I'm Carrie Burns, and I'm the Executive Director for the Santa Barbara Humane Society. And what we want you to know is that Humane Societies are local to each community. No one is associated with the National Humane Society. So when you donate or you adopt, know that everything that you touch is right there in your own backyard. We want you to donate, volunteer, and adopt. For more information, visit sbhumanesociety.org.
Weren't there some amazing animals and guests? You know, you who adopt animals from shelters, you are the true heroes. If you want to see more about AnimalZone and other things, check out our website, animalzone.org, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Never was a friend so true, never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. Did I find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.